with the last video coming into Spring Hill, I noticed the issue with the trees being too tall on final approach. So I've redone the vegetation, which makes things look better. So I've fixed the trees, and these guys are fixing the... yeah, let's not go into that, shall we? Instead, let's do the next leg of the Highway 1 road trip in a plane where the single wheel is at the correct end of the aircraft. The front. Yeah, it's the Marchetti, this one. And, oh, by the way, I have uploaded this tweaked version of the airfield to my mega folder, so if you want a copy of it, then that's where it is. NZSL Spring Hill. So now that's out the way, let's turn around and get going. Oh, this rather nice looking morning here in New Zealand's North Island. Sun rising over there, it's lovely. Right, let's go for it. Up and away on what will be one of the longer legs following Highway 1, as the next airfield up here is XNZMT Matta. The distance between Spring Hill and Matta, I think we could do with some kind of gap filling airstrip. So I think I may need to go looking for something to turn into a next plane scenery, or if there isn't any airfields to do that, then perhaps I could invent another little fantasy one, maybe. Yeah, but for today there isn't anything, so we're having a slightly longer flight in this video. Yeah, so then, over to our left, that's the little town of Wellsford, where interestingly you can find a place called Biltong Plus. They seem to sell a small selection of food and drinks from South Africa, but largely they seem to be a souvenir shop for South African sort of things. It just seems weird that in New Zealand, in such a small town, there's a place to buy a wooden carving of a giraffe or a zebra. But there they are, so obviously people do sometimes wake up and think, what my house needs is a life-size sculpture of an antelope. And yeah, well, that's where you can get one, if you wanted that kind of thing. Yeah, and then just over to our left now, well, kind of flying over it really, that little settlement is called Tehana. Tehana probably. Yeah, which is now a new record holder. Since I've started looking at Google reviews for places we pass by in these videos, there's been some good, some bad, but this is a whole new level. Northern Car Market has a Google rating of 1.5, and that's from 14 reviews as well, which I'd say that's large enough of a sample size for that rating to be statistically significant. Now, okay, we all know used car salesmen are notoriously a little bit dodgy, but only managing 1.5 stars, I don't recall any other business being even close to that low. When looking at the reviews, it seems a recurring theme of people taking a car there for Northern Car Market to sell. They do then sell the car, but they don't pay you your money. Yeah, so congratulations to them for being New Zealand's most shit company on Google that I've found so far. I think somebody's going to have to do something fairly spectacular to beat that. So next town coming up is Kaiwaka, which is where you can find the Tulip Cafe and Motel. And looking at it, I've just had a moment of holy crap, I've been there. Yeah, that's Google Street View now, and that's my photo back in 2010. Yeah, obviously it's changed its name, as it was the Gateway North Motel and Cafe when I had a cup of coffee there, but yeah, that was a little bizarre, looking up reviews for the video and suddenly finding a place I'd forgotten I'd been to. Yeah, I suppose I could give it a review myself, although that was long enough ago where I can't really remember much about it, and so we'll leave it to Google, where somebody called Iris gave it a 5-star review and seemed to enjoy it, but Iris also wrote, "It's a bit loud by the road." Yes, Iris, that might just be because it's by the road. State Highway 1 is just outside the door. The location of the Tulip Cafe is right next to State Highway 1, a road where you may hear noises associated with being right next to a busy road. I'm thinking Iris might be one of those kind of people who, for instance, may paint her house and be upset that it smelt of paint. Yeah, I think we'll just ignore her and carry on, shall I? Yeah, then coming up over to our right, you can find the Valley Vista Eco Retreat, where you can spend the night in some items they found on a rubbish dump by the look of things and tried to turn them into bedrooms. 4.2 stars, so some people do like it, probably quite cheap, and the owners, they are mentioned in a few reviews as being nice people, but maybe I'm getting a bit old, as that's not really leaping out to me as a place I'd like to spend a night or two. Especially as there's a boutique hotel about half an hour's drive from here. Although from Tracy's boutique farm stay in the last video, how the bollocks are you supposed to sit down on that? It's like an invasion of throw cushions. I mean, Jesus, the throw cushions. Just what the hell is the point of throw cushions? Yeah, maybe instead I'll stay the night at a place which is over to our right hand side, called Francis Orchard Country Stay. 5 stars, only 1 review, so you can't really trust that rating. So I had a look at some of the photos instead, and yep, that's fine. That is a normal amount of cushions. Enough cushion to adjust your posture to something more comfortable without a deluge of throw cushions that you just pile up on the floor. Yeah, so it seems that Francis does have a what the hell is that on the bed? That little white one at the front, that is not a pillow. When you want to get a bed, you're going to have to move that monstrosity to somewhere that's not on the bed, then pick it up and put it back on the bed when you get up in the morning. That's even more pointless than the phrase written on a box saying, "serves 4 people," when I buy myself a family-sized cake. Jesus Christ. Well, next little village is Waipu, where you can find a shop called Nutty For You, who sell, well, nuts. I presume they have some, but when it comes to nuts, pistachios are the best, and if you disagree with that, you're wrong. Strangely, I believe there is a little psychological study that was done on those connected to human behaviour, and it basically said that instead of just grabbing a handful of nuts and throwing them in your mouth, the fact that you have to invest some effort into breaking open the shells and picking the pistachios out yourself, it subconsciously makes them more valuable to you. And kind of a cross between a placebo and a self-fulfilling prophecy, that they do taste better just from the simple fact that you had to do a little bit of work to get each nut. Yeah, I can kind of see the logic in that, although they do taste nice anyway. Yeah, then what we're coming up to now is the town of Ruakaka, which seems to be a holiday kind of location. Nice looking beach, plenty of places to stay, and a few places to eat, such as Spice Route Indian Restaurant. And in this Indian restaurant you can get burgers and pizza. Yeah, in the UK we've had quite a lot of migration of people from India, so consequently we have a number of Indian food places here that provide tasty and authentic Indian food. And I'm pretty sure if the chef at any of those places in England walked into the Spice Route Indian restaurant and saw pizza on the menu, yeah, there'd be no words. They'd just start slapping somebody with a throw cushion. Anyway, getting closer now to our destination of XNZ MT Matter Airfield. Called that because the closest label on Google Maps that had a place name was Matter. Although since then it seems that somebody has added a new tag to Google Maps, and the actual name of the airfield is Leo John Strip. Shut up. Let's just pull me fuse. No, wrong one. Pull the fuse, shuts up the gear warning. Yeah, so I suppose I should update the scenery to reflect the name, but I'm just not sure I can be bothered. Yeah, it's okay for a grass airstrip, but nothing that impressive, so it's not like I ever go there. And if you have all my explained scenery and fly in New Zealand regularly, be honest, I bet you don't go there either, do you? So yeah, I'll change the name one day, eventually. Yeah, but for now though, we have the fun of trying to find it. Plenty of very similar looking farm fields around here, and if my memory is correct with the Leo John Strip, it does a very good job of blending into the landscape and doing an impression of a farmer's field as well. So this might be one where I end up heading for the wrong field and only notice the airstrip at the last second. Down, that's it. Fuse back in. Yeah, we're coming at it at about 45 degrees now, and there are two hangars at the far end of the airfield. So, just looking for buildings. Is that a hangar maybe? Possible, could, no, don't think that's it, is it? It's not too far away from here, though. Oh crap, there it is, right in front. Yeah, I was looking at the right one. No problem, we'll still be able to get down, I think. We already have landing gear and flaps. Airspeed isn't horrifically fast or anything. Decent crosswind by the look of that sock, though. Yeah. Not the softest ever, was it? Yeah, not one of my best ever, but could have been worse. Yeah, so we'll just go and park up here by Leo Johns, I presume. And what is that? Oh no, it's okay. It's a red bag. That's fine. Yeah, for a second I thought that might be a throw cushion, but no, it's a red bag. So we're all good. No need to panic. Right then, that's the end of one of the longer legs of the Highway 1 road trip, and I'll see you again for the next leg soon. Bye!